we have to have a discussion about the wealth gap that we've heard so much about between Black Americans and primarily white Americans and other groups as well have gotten into the discussion of late. Um, we need to adjust our perspective on that because I don't think it's intentional, but those who are constantly advancing this discussion about closing the wealth gap are setting us up to fail or to feel perpetually frustrated, to overlook the gains that we have made, the successes that we've had here, because they have been astonishing. I'm going to save you the suspense. The wealth gap, as we know it, is never going to get closed. Okay. It may slide here and there a little bit, but Black Americans will never close the wealth gap. The reason is simple, and I am by no means an investment expert or guru or anything like that. But here's what I know for a fact. The single most important element in investing success and wealth building is time. Nothing trumps time. And take a wild guess what gap ain't never going to get closed. It's the time gap. Okay. Black folks have only been in a position to even superficially compete since my lifetime. Okay. I am a man in my early 50s. Only in my lifetime have we been in a position to kind of play in all the games and all the ways to build wealth. And we've done astonishingly well considering the fact that everybody else had not just a running start, but a flying start, mainly because not only were we not participants in the financial system, we were objects of the financial system. Man, you talk about going from being a commodity to being a purveyor of commodities. Folks, there's nothing that we can do that is going to close the wealth gap. It isn't going to happen. But here's what we can do, though. And this is where I would like to see us focusing our conversation and our efforts, because not only can we win this, we have been winning it. Black people in America have everything that we need right now, to erase the vestiges of enslavement and of discrimination in the here and now. Meaning, we do not have to live in communities that are underserved medically. We do not have to live in communities that are underserved from a goods and services standpoint, food deserts and such, financial deserts, where your local check cashing operation has more give and go than a bank would, for any number of reasons. These things do not have to be. I understand the origins of that. We all do. We all do. We don't have to spend our time rehashing that. This is nothing against our scholarly community whose responsibility is to study that, to report on that, because if they can influence policy at some point, great, good. I want you to succeed at getting America to pay some of the debt that it owes to us for transgressions of the past and not so distant past. I'm all in favor of that. But for most of us who are just out here working for a living, however high your wage is that you're earning, your job is to earn as big a wage as you can and play as effectively as you can in the financial markets as they exist right now. We absolutely can erase the stench of inferiority. We have control over that. They, I like to talk about they. Once again, for those who may have missed it previously, they are the people who control policy, prices, and select personnel to be in charge of things. That's who they are. They would love for us to be focused on, gotta close the wealth gap. It ain't happening, because the only thing that could make it happen would be a mass redistribution of wealth from other Americans or American municipalities to the pockets and accounts of Black folks. And baby, that shit ain't happening. They're not going to do it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Repetition is the mother of all knowledge. They owe it, they know it, but they don't want to pay it, and we can't make them pay. Those of us who are gainfully employed in corporate America and who have done reasonably well, here's the thing. I don't care if you're making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. You ain't closing shit. Why? Because your white counterparts who are doing the same job as you, okay, are making about the same as you. Maybe a little more, maybe a little bit less, but that's not closing any wealth gap. You're doing good for yourself, and that's good for you. I'm glad. I want more of us to be there. More and more of us to be there. But that is not closing the wealth gap. The wealth gap means that we are outpacing other folks. That's what it means. What do we really believe are the prospects of that happening when we don't control the means of production in any area that is leverageable, okay, into finance? And we know this. I think instinctively we know it, but we just don't challenge the premise because it sounds like you're just giving up. Oh, well, we just at the bottom, but it's not giving up. It's not. Because the further we distance ourselves from even looking like anybody had their foot on our necks, it will take up less and less space in our minds and on our hearts, and it'll stop holding back our children because it doesn't have to. At this point, that is up to us. That's our choice. And can't nobody make that choice for us. That's freestyle politics. Peace.